Back. We're so happy to have Shantala Boss with us once again. Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us.
Happy New Year, Bridget. Thank you for having me.
You touched base with me at the New Year and we were talking about resolutions, but in a broader sense when it comes to from a therapy standpoint, which I think is interesting because we always think about fitness resolutions and just being more disciplined with, diet or just different things that we want to accomplish in our lives, whether it be personal goals or things happening around us that we would like to improve upon. But it starts within.
It really does. Like we were talking earlier, and like you even said before the break, our why. What is our why? And sometimes I think we know what it is because we see everybody else and what their why is, and we think, well, that needs to be my why. And so we start comparing ourselves and we start thinking that's what I need to do. And the problem with that is we don't have our own internal sense of our purpose behind what we're doing. And the thing that drives behavior is truly purpose and connection. So we need to know what our real purpose is, what specific goals we want to meet. Not just, I want to go to the gym, but I want to gain this much muscle mass, or I want to just feel better in my
Mm-hmm.
body. I just want to feel happier in my body. I want to feel more confident. What is that very specific goal and why? Because when we know what that is, then we have more drive and we have that to look forward to. And then we don't beat ourselves up as much internally. That's the other problem with New Year's resolutions. We set all these lofty goals because we think that's what we're supposed to do. And then if we don't meet them, we start internalizing and feeling bad. And that sets us back even more so. So that's definitely a pitfall we want to stay away from.
And you talked about taking a bite of the elephant at a time. So is it okay to have lofty goals or resolutions, or is it better to like adjust them and be realistic, or how would you describe that, to someone you're working with?
Well, I think it's okay to have lofty goals, but I think it's setting those small steps to get there. You might say, okay, by the end of the year I want to be here, but by next month I want to be able to do X, Y, and Z as part of my goal to get there. So being realistic with our expectations are of ourselves. And that doesn't mean we're limiting ourselves. That just means we're being realistic and we're setting very concrete and specific ways towards getting there. That's really how goals are made and success happens. Is And then also having accountability partners, other people that have the same kind of goals that we can connect with. They can kind of hold us accountable and that we can encourage, and they can encourage us. That makes a huge difference, because when we're doing all this in isolation, it can feel overwhelming, alienating, and we start to wonder, why am I even doing this, or why am I even trying, if we hit a setback. But then if we have a friend or a comrade who's doing something the same, we can kind of share ideas and help each other out, and that really makes it more meaningful and helpful as well.
And what do you tell people when it comes to New Year's resolutions versus, a plan for the year or, quarterly plans or monthly plans? How do we break things down into steps to where we're, if something's not working out, we readjust or like you said, be kind to yourself, but also, you know, finding a way to get to your goal with discipline in mind and with kindness in mind to yourself.
Well, I don't really like the word even New Year's resolutions, because I
Mm-hmm.
think it should always be in us to want to better ourselves. And I think that really is truly what everyone wants.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really thinking about, what is my internal desire to do whatever it is, and why do I want to do that. Like I said before, I think, I don't know if you've ever heard of the hedonic treadmill, but we get on this treadmill. What is this basically is, we the more we think we need or to do or try, with whatever success or whatever accomplishments we make in life, our happiness will rise and we will feel better. But eventually it will always go back to the same baseline level. Everyone has kind of a baseline level of happiness. So no matter what our goals are, and we meet those goals and we feel satisfaction, we will go back to our baseline, or we will drop if we fail those goals, but we will go back to our baseline. Like Rolling Stone says, I can't get no satisfaction. Why is that? You know what I mean? So we have to figure out more than just what everyone else wants or what I think I should get, how internally will this make me a better person? Will this make me a better partner, a better mom, a better friend, a better boss, a better business person, a better employee? What internally does this do for me? Not someone else, or not what I think someone else wants or what I think I should want. And once we do a lot of that inner reflection, and that takes time,
Mm-hmm.
journaling, discussion. There's nothing wrong with New Year's resolutions, but I just think it's a bigger thing that we can really work on all year, and always reevaluating, of course, at the beginning of the year. Where am I? Where do I want to go? I think it's better to look at more of the broad picture of that.
And what about when it comes to positive change versus, maybe saying, I don't like the way something is going, or I don't, maybe I don't like where I live, or I don't like, a family situation, or maybe there's something that's not right at a job. How can you help people break that down into a plan or decisions to get to a place where they can be more satisfied or happy, like you said, because sometimes you're thinking like, oh, when this happens then I'll be happy, or when I get this then I'll be happy, and like you said, it's not necessarily the case. So how do you weigh that
Right.
out?
Well, it's looking at the big picture. Like I said earlier, one thing that it's difficult to know how to move forward if we feel stuck in a job or relationship or situation, because we're looking at all of these factors. If we look at, okay, 10 years from now, if I keep doing what I've been doing, where will I be? Will I be where I want to be? And so maybe I don't make all the changes to where I want to be 10 years from now, but what can I do this year to make changes towards that? If I continue in the behavior I'm doing now for 10 years, will I ever reach my goal? So, kind of fast forwarding, that's kind of a therapeutic technique we can do to see where do I really want to be in life. Is it's very overwhelming for people to think about changing a job or leaving a relationship or making a huge decision because there's so many things involved. But what are some
Mm-hmm.
small steps I can take so I can get to where I want to be in the future,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of rewinding that, and also just looking at what's going well, what's going right, what's making me happy right now, because with everything that makes us happy there's going to be unhappiness in our life. Nobody will reach joy or happiness without some unhappiness. That's just life. So not putting off joy, right? Not saying I'll be happy when all of this is better and there's no bad weather, there's no stress, there's nothing going on, I'm just going to be happy then. We have to embrace things that are hard as well, and,
Mm-hmm.
and look at different perspectives and reframing it.
And a lot of that goes back to talking to someone. So, how can you encourage people to explore that way of sort of, self reflection, discovery, and strength in exploring therapy?
Well, with therapy or even with friends or people we trust, I think it's really important that we pick people that build us up, people that we can relate to, people that we feel heard and understood. Even with a therapist, it doesn't mean the therapist isn't good at what they do, but different personalities clash, different personalities connect, and that's okay. So also not getting discouraged if your first visit with a therapist you feel that didn't go well, I must be bad at this.
Mm-hmm.
No, it takes time. And also, what if it's not a good fit? It can also be that the therapist is just not right for you. So sometimes we need to maybe do some digging, some looking, and finding that right fit. And also with our friendships too, not disclosing stuff that could hurt us, or maybe bring us down with certain people, only talking to the people that will really are going to be in our corner and be our cheerleader, not those people that are having those comparisons, or trying to keep up with, or maybe belittle us or put us down. That slight little bit of
Yeah.
underlying feeling we get with certain relationships. We need to set boundaries with those things, because
Mm-hmm.
those can really cause us to focus on things that are unimportant, and that our goals are somewhere they shouldn't be, and then we fall into disrepair and what we really want in life, and that's when we lose our joy.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This has been a great talk once again, Shantala. And we can find you online, right? And it's easy to
Boss
get in touch
Wellness.
with you.
Yes,
Boss Wellness. All right, Shantala. Well, take
absolutely.
care. Great
You
words of
too.
wisdom, and we'll see you soon.
Sounds good. Bye, Bridget.
Bye. And that's going to do it for us this morning. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 7:30. Take care.